Hello, thank you for joining me today. We begin this big hip release in wide child's pose. Just taking a moment to come into our breath as we open up through the inner groins. Maybe we steeple the fingertips to help us deepen into this posture. Finding any wiggles that feel good. Then planting the palms, coming onto the belly, and releasing the right leg to the side, finding half frog pose. We want the knee in line with the hip and the foot flexed, sending the pelvis down into the mat. We can rest our forehead down, or maybe we make a little pillow for ourselves with the forearms. Breathing nice and deep. This can be an intense posture, so make sure to find what feels good. Just a few more breaths before we'll switch sides. And whenever you're ready, we can gently lift the chest, extending the right leg behind and taking the left out to the side. Enjoying this beautiful opening, especially if we've just had an intense workout. Finding this sweet release and settling in. Continuing to use our breath to help us open up and release tension. Taking one last big breath here, really filling the lungs with air, and then gently lifting up and making your way into bound angle pose. Moving carefully, rooting down through the sit bones and sending the soles of the feet together. Grabbing onto the big toes, we can either find butterfly legs here to help us open, or maybe we just take our chest forward. Whichever position you need more in this moment, depending on what you are releasing. Lifting up through the crown of the head, reaches the inner groins a little bit more. And when we walk the hands out, we can feel it a little bit more in our outer glutes as well. Taking one more breath, and then gently, wherever we're at, releasing bound angle, planting the left sole of the foot on the mat and crossing the right ankle over the knee. Really sending the chest forward, trying to get as close to the legs as we can. Breathing nice and deep. Feeling grounded and rooted as we sit up nice and tall. And to deepen this stretch, we can take our left elbow to the left knee, gazing slightly behind us. Still pulling the chest as close to the legs as we can. Breathing easy here. Can always come out if it's too far. Gently releasing the hands behind the sit bones, planting both feet, and exhale, take the hips up to the sky, reverse tabletop. Squeezing through the glutes for just a few seconds here. And on your next exhale, gently release, switching sides, crossing the left ankle over the right knee, using the hands to press yourself closer, bringing your awareness to the glutes and feeling them open with each deep breath. Finding anywhere we may be holding tension, maybe even in the shoulders or the neck, and releasing that. Maybe coming into our twist, if that feels good to you. Trusting your intuition that your body knows where to lead. Exhale, back to center, uncrossing the feet, gently making your way up to the top of the mat, coming into a little squat, sending the toes to the corners, rooting down. Our feet may be flat on the mat, or our heels might be lifted, depending on how open we are. Maybe we use the elbows to further open the knees, lengthening the groins and the spine as we reach up through the crown of the head and send the hips down. Taking one more loving breath before gently releasing, coming to a standing position, toes face forward. Rolling up and grounding down through the left foot, crossing the right ankle over the knee as we sink our hips down. Opening up through the right glute as we find strength in this balance. We can again use the knee to gently open and deepen the stretch. Maybe we play with the angle of our hips closer to the mat or further away. Exhale to release, taking one moment in chair, finding strength in the quadriceps, grounding down, and then gently releasing to switch sides, coming into our half chair. Taking even breaths at your natural pace, focusing on the body, letting the mind slowly calm down as we tune out distractions. Exhale to gently release the left foot and maybe shake out the legs. Making our way down into pigeon pose with the right knee bent in front. Take your time to get here, settling in before surrendering. Keeping the chest lifted, or maybe coming down onto the elbows or onto the forehead for sleeping swan. Breathing into this space, bringing your awareness down to the hips as we quiet all other thoughts. On your next inhale, you can gently begin to raise the chest and swing the left leg around, placing the shin on top of the right. Finding our fire log pose, and if this is too intense, we can always place the shin in front. Reaching up through the crown, rooting the sit bones down into the mat, maybe taking a slight forward fold. Keeping both hips on the mat, only going as far as feels good. Breathing nice and easy. Gently lift up and deepen this glute stretch by coming into cow face pose. Sending the feet out to the edges of the mat as we cross the arms in front of the chest, wrapping them around, trying to meet palms. Embracing the stillness here. Embracing the quiet. Maybe taking it a little bit deeper for this last big breath. And then gently release the hands And extend the right leg behind us, coming into pigeon pose. Making any minor adjustments until we're fully comfortable. Maybe taking a moment to notice how we feel now, as opposed to 10 minutes ago. Noticing how just a few minutes of stretching can help us release physical tension and quiet down the mind. Always coming back to the breath whenever the mind starts to drift away. Taking this beautiful time for yourself. Whatever variation of pigeon pose we've found ourselves in, we can gently raise the chest on our next inhale and swing the right leg around, coming into our fire log pose. Lifting up through the crown, visualizing the lengthening of the spine before maybe folding over. Feeling grounded and secure as we're close to the earth, connecting to it and ourselves. One last breath before gently making our way into cow face pose. Sending the feet out to the corners and stacking knees. Reaching the hands up, big inhale, opening through the upper back, wringing out the cervical spine, creating space. Beautiful. Keep breathing nice and deep for this final release. And gently unravel the arms on your next exhale, planting the feet on the corners of the mat and taking a few windshield wipers. Finding this twist at the end to just loosen everything back up. And whenever you're ready, we can meet in easy seat where we take one final breath together. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.